Hello again, it's versus time. We're back to Canadian Highlander once again, and this week we have Kieran piloting Jeskai Control against Jay piloting Affinity Oath. Jeskai Control pointed cards are Ancestral Recall, Treasure Cruise, and Mystical Tutor. We'll get into the details about the deck in a second. We'll first go over to Jay's deck, where their pointed cards are Soul Ring, Tinker, Tolarian Academy, Mystical Tutor, and Mana Vault. I am not the right person to explain what this Jeskai Control deck is meant to do and how to pilot it. The right person is Kieran. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm commentating on one of my own matches this week, so this should be interesting. I can go over my thought processes for why I did what I did, basically. But Jeskai Control, basically just want cheap threats like a Ragavan, Dreadhorde Arcanist, those sort of cards, get them down and protect them with counter spells. And then you've got a lot of free spells, so I'm playing Subtlety, Fury, Solitude, Force of Will, Force of Negation, and then card draw spells like Ancestral Recall, Treasure Cruise to make up the card disadvantage from those cards, basically. So that's sort of a brief overview of the deck.
Very nice. And then, is this the first time that you played against Jay's deck?
So this one of Jay's is brand new for this week.
Awesome.
So don't really know what I'm going up against. Usually with Jay, it's some sort of blue-based deck or lands, so some sort of combo deck. It can be anything really. But yeah, going into this one completely blind. I believe I'm on the play. I keep, and Jay takes a mulligan. And my first play, I believe, makes this game very easy to see what's going on.
But what Jay is doing, to give a bit of a spoiler, is just play a ton of artifacts and go crazy. Here we go.
So here we go. I nicely play Attack and Probe so we can see exactly what there is. There are 2 cards there from the big score. And yeah, like I said, I need to read them. Synthesizer, a very strong card there. Whenever you play an artifact that's free, CMC or greater, you create a construct, a 0/0 that gets bigger. And yeah, follow this up with a Tundra. And just
Decide against doing something that you shouldn't do on your turn.
yes. So this Stone of Eric actually quite annoying against me because I play quite a few Dower spells. I use my graveyard quite often, so losing my graveyard here is going to hurt. One of the cards in my hand is actually a Murktide Regent, so I do want to fill my grave as quick as possibly to cast it.
Got it. So this is already a puzzle for you to solve from turn 1.
Yes. Another issue I have is I have a Ragavan, I believe, in hand, which I want to be playing on turn 1, but I have no way of playing it currently. So trying to just figure out the sequences where I want to go with my turns. So I search up the Volcanic Island because I don't have a red source in hand. Untap. Draw for turn. And yeah, play the island because we already know it's there. And there's a Dashavan here. This
I want this one explained to me. Why pay 2 mana and have it come back rather than just develop the board, considering the opponent's just got artifacts that do nothing for the next couple of turns?
That's a good question, and that's probably one I can't answer.
Okay.
I misplay quite a lot in this game. One of the reasons could be I'm missing land drop, and I want to make sure I get the land drop, so getting the treasure, casting a ponder. But yeah, I agree. Putting a Ragavan down, just leaving it there, not having to waste 2 mana on it for the foreseeable future. Very good reason to do that. But like you say, looking at Jay's hand, very slow hand here. No actual 2-drop.
But some scary stuff from 3 and onwards.
3 up, yeah. So,
I'd like to think you will recognise the card on top.
Do you remember
so
whether
I
you're
think.
holding counter spells at this point, or
So I remember I've got a Terminus in hand.
Like Dashavan.
I've got the Ragavan. I've got Murktide.
okay?
So I don't
I don't know why I kept just slow
think
down,
I've got
but I
a
really,
counter spell
I was
yet.
kind of excited
Okay.
by some of the stuff it can do, but I just don't think it's particularly good.
I do remember at some point I do draw. Oh, there we go. We get to see a counter spell there.
Academy.
Good work by me to keep my hands close to my chest so I can't see what I've actually got. Makes it easy for me. But yeah, here we go. We've got a land pass holding up the stone activation. I look in my grave. There's 3 cards currently. So I'm going to try and sneak a Murktide into play here if I can by fetching.
In response, I'm going to exile your grave.
But Jay makes the heads up play of exiling my graveyard, so I
Love
don't
that.
have the 4 cards in there for the Murktide.
The swearing fall
So good.
mine, which is brilliant.
Yes, it's very annoying. Completely ruined my play for the turn. Go grab a plateau here. Oh, no.
Do you think Jay's actually thinking about Murktide at that point, or the delve spells, or is it just that they know, I'm gonna use this and this is a window?
I can see that being a reason. I'd hope it's for the first reason. I'll give Jay credit and
Okay.
assume they're playing around my
Love it.
delve spells here.
Okay, I see what's going on here.
Yeah, polymorph off the top. So now I'm starting to figure out what's going on. We've got the artifact deck with a polymorph. Probably want to cheat some huge creature into play.
So any deck with a polymorph in it, this one's destroy a creature and then reveal until you hit one, right?
Yes.
So
So
this means that there's going to be few creatures in this list.
So there's actually only 3. There's Capicania, which we see in the hand, a Sundering Titan, which would destroy me here because I've got all basic land types, and an Emrakul, which again would be horrible.
Okay, I like it.
So here we see Jay starting to develop the board, playing a Mox Opal not currently online, but we have 2 artifacts down already.
Can I cast a Retrofitter Foundry?
Retrofitter
that's a scary
Foundry
card.
here. So this one is scary, and me being a control deck, I can't let this resolve because this will slowly take over the game. So I am going to counterspell that, keep it off the board.
Expecting a counterspell.
And obviously I've brought up the version of Counterspell that we can read.
Yes, the Mystery Boost 2 counterspell as opposed to the Strixhaven archive.
It's still a confusing border to me, but these Future Sight cards do look kind of cool. Properly retro.
Happily in the situation where you
So again here, if I did have Ragavan, I'd be in such a good position. I'd miss out on that first attack, but I wouldn't be wasting 2 mana a turn because this is now the 3rd turn where I've done it, and this is 6 mana I've invested into a Ragavan.
I mean, eventually you'll get a.
No reason to keep dashing it because there's no removal there.
Do you think in your head you've just gone, well, I've committed to this dash thing. I'm just going to keep doing it now because
Yeah.
I've missed the window where I should just cast it for 1 maybe.
Yeah. So here I think about casting this card. It doesn't actually do anything except draw me a card, but I think my hand at this point I'm very flooded. Like I said, I've got Terminus in hand, a Murktide Regent, and I remember drawing another land off that card. So very flooded here. I think 3 spells, 2 of which I can't cast, and 3 lands currently in hand.
And Terminus isn't necessarily the reset button that you want either against an artifact deck, I suspect.
Against most of the cards, yes. Against that synthesizer, no, because it doesn't answer that.
Yeah, that's it.
And it stays around, and it turns the next creature into the next artifact into a creature. So here comes the synthesizer. I've only got 1 blue mana available. Well, 1 treasure available, so I don't actually have counter magic up here. And this is probably in hindsight, this is the turn where I wish I held up the counter magic instead of playing that artifact to draw a card. Just holding up the counter magic here for this synthesizer keeps me in the game.
So you do have a counterspell in hand at this point then?
I believe I have a mana leak in hand.
Okay.
Um,
That one makes you pay an extra 3?
yes, an extra 3, so it would be able to counter this one here. And here we have another artifact coming in and just pinging me for 2.
Down to 15.
So I'm going to untap, draw a card, hopefully draw something good. Spoiler, I don't think it is something good. And here comes the Ragavan back. Looking at the cards on the board, I have definitely hit some misses. With the Mox Opal being a card draw and the Retrofit of Foundry, both of those cards I'd have loved to get off the Dashavan.
I think Jay's kind of making a comment about the hits in their deck not necessarily being great for you. Whether it's quite a one, like the deck's doing what it wants to do and it's got a lot of cards in there that's not going to be of any use to anybody else really.
Yeah. So I do decide to cast the Deduce again. Try and draw out of this flood that I've got going on in my hand. We get a clue token, the Ragavan bounces back, and again we're passing with just 2 mana. 3 mana, we got 2 treasures there, and we've got a Tundra. But not much else going on here.
The flask doesn't do anything now, it just sacrifices to fix your mana, is that right?
Yes, the flash doesn't do anything, just sack it, turn all lands you control into a basic land type.
Oh, does that mean it's actually protection from a Sundering Titan then?
Don't. I'd have to read the card.
Okay.
I don't have Jay on Sundering Titan at this point in the game.
Okay. Alright. You've seen the polymorph, but you're not necessarily thinking what's that for.
No, I'm a little confused. The polymorph you usually only have like 1 target in the deck you want to cheat out. And I can see there's a Cap and Cadenir in hand, so I just assume it's a value polymorph more than cheating scary things into play.
Right, yeah.
Let's read this flash. Choose a basic land type. Each land you control becomes the type until end of turn.
So it would be protection from a Sundering Titan then?
I believe so, if it works that way. If it replaces the other types with just that type.
If it doesn't say in addition to its other types, then it should work. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, this is I'm looking at an old format of the card.
Okay.
I don't so know if it's been updated. But
Not relevant here, don't worry, we'll move on.
yeah. So I have 7 cards in hand here. I've drawn a land, played a land, put a land into the bin. I'm now facing down scary threats on the board. There is a huge construct there. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at the moment.
The moment in my Magic career, if you want to call it that, that I really leveled up, Kieran, was when somebody told me you should just draw the things that you need when you need them. And at the moment you don't need any lands, so for future games I'd suggest not drawing more.
So that is why I did surveil that Scalding Tarn into the bin.
Okay.
Trying to play good type Magic, but unfortunately not quite getting there. Playing a Pyrogoyf here is not huge, like we saw earlier. My graveyard did get exiled, and I've only put a counterspell and a Scalding Tarn in there since.
You're just looking to save some damage before this Terminus.
Yes, because I see what's going to happen here, and this is... I don't have removal for the construct. If I had removal for this construct here, I'd feel great.
Yeah.
But this copy construct, make another map. They're now 9 9s, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so they've jumped to 9 9s. I'm on 15. So if I don't play a chump blocker here, I do just die. Could definitely be an argument for just playing out the Ragavan as well. As a second chump blocker.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not doing anything at this point in the games. They are early 9s, but I am on 15, so that is definitely scary. What else has Jay got here? Got the Kappa Cannoneer. Taps 3 mana, so this is another artifact. It's going to create another construct,
Cast an esoteric duplicator.
which it is. Again, I
So
have to
whenever
read
you
it.
sacrifice it or another artifact, you can pay 2, and if you do, at the beginning of the next end step, create a token that's a copy of that artifact. So you get to continue to loot. Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I got art. This is
But
art
it
card.
only
The
allows,
handwriting's the issue.
you can only sack itself to its own ability.
yeah. But if you've got something else that sacrifices, you can copy that.
Yep.
I'm currently reading it, trying to figure out what's going on, see if I need to counter it. Like I said, I think I've got the mana leak.
Oh yeah, that's the stack still.
So yeah,
Let me know what spells resolve.
I'm gonna try mana leak next.
so I am going to mana leak this one because I can't let another 3 mana spell resolve. Well, a 3 mana artifact resolve.
It's one of those where this ability isn't as impactful, but you just you're falling too far behind, and
Yes.
you can't take another 9/9
Yeah.
or 10/10 as it would be.
Yeah.
Make a copy of this.
So yeah, a copy of that happens still, which means they are now huge. How much bigger is that?
11/11s, is it?
I think it's
Attack you with these two.
more than that, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So I go down to 4 here.
Okay. So
Opponent down to 8.
Jay has made the copy during their turn rather than waiting.
Yeah, like they said, they're not worried about a board wipe here. They're just pushing through the damage. Jay can see that this is in their hands. They just need to push for as much damage as they can.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think because what we've achieved here is 2 extra damage, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 extra damage. And unless you're going to cast the Kappa Cannoneer from hand, which still plays into a board wipe,
Yeah.
if
What
there's
else?
nothing else for this 2 mana, it's just better to get the extra body into play.
It's just one of those
Sounds-
where if you're thinking, if you're not playing around a board wipe, don't you just play around targeted removal? Because then the targeted removal you can respond to because you're on the front foot, so you don't need to be forced
Yeah.
to do anything. I don't know. Yeah, I can see both ways really. Just push as much damage or.
Yeah. So I'm sat here looking at my Terminus in hand, thinking this is not how I ever want to cast this spell. 6 mana is far too much mana for a card. It's also only getting rid of tokens here, so this is not. It's good, but it's not good. Yeah, there we go. It's expensive.
Didn't fancy casting a brainstorm first. One mana for a board wipe's pretty good. Ooh.
Yeah. So we do get Murktide Regent down. I've seen a line. My line is get a Murktide Regents down, get in for 6 in the air. My opponent's at 8. Let's see what we can do. Doesn't have haste, sadly.
Then you'd have to draw like a bolt or something.
Yeah, so in my head now, I'm on Bolt, Chain Lightning. I think those are the only 2. Fire Ice does it as well. Fire Ice.
Yep.
Cast the fire. So I have 3 draws in my deck. Flage as well, actually.
Sweet.
So here's another card from the big score. So if we look at the board here, there's actually 4 cards from the big score. So lots of lovely artifacts.
This is very it was OTJ, wasn't it? Yeah, OTJ focused.
Yeah.
I remember seeing all of these cards at a combination of pre-releases and drafts. So I know what most of them do, which is refreshing.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've played another card. We've made another construct, not quite as big as they were before, but still huge. Actually, it might be just as big because there's 4 maps there now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's still an 11. We've currently got the trigger on the Nexus of Becoming, and we're going to put a free version of Kappa Cannoneer into play. and it's going to trigger itself 3 times here.
Yeah, you just stack the triggers correctly so you get all of your other
Yeah,
bits first, and then the Cannoneer gets its ability.
yeah. It's a free copy. That's a 6/6. Ward 4 again, lovely. So here we go. I'm going to draw my a card here. I've got out. So let's see what I can do. So 3 mana. What we got?
Lightning Bolt doesn't cost 3. Okay.
No. Brain Surge. We get to dig 4 more cards deep. Shame we didn't have that earlier with the Terminus. Would have made 1 mana Terminus a lot more
Oh, there we go.
efficient. Put some lands back on top, I'm sure. Put the Brain Surge down to 4 mana. Spoilers, I did not hit a Lightning Bolt or a Chain Lightning. Or I'd be slamming it here.
Leave us in suspense, why don't you?
So the issue here is I have to make a play because that Cannoneer gets unblockable. So I have to go for something. So I'll go for Comet. So I have a 50-50 chance, I imagine, here at winning the game.
It's like 4, 5, or 6, and you've got it probably.
Yeah, and I hit 1.
I can tell you how
which-
to draw cards correctly. I can't tell you how to to roll dice, I'm afraid.
Which sadly just puts in 2 squirrels. Yeah, yes, you did. If I hit a 4 or 5, I could have dealt 5 damage to Jay's face. If I hit 6, I get a re-roll. So I felt 50-50 chance of getting there would have been nice, but unfortunately I don't. And I die to Cannoneer.
Nice.
And the 2 other constructs as well, actually, that are there. I guess I could have passed the turn, forced Jay to play any artifact to make the Cannoneer unblockable, but yeah.
As if we've just watched quite an interesting game of Magic, actually, for it to just end on a
A
flip
dice
of a
roll.
coin.
Yes. Comet does that. It's one of the complaints Comet gets is it is just a flip of a coin. You can play on 4, activate its ability, hit 6 a couple of times, and then all of a sudden you hit a couple of 4s, a couple of 5s, and your opponent's just dead.
Yeah.
It's one of the Infinity cards that is actually legal in the format because it's not an Acorn card. So
Strange decision.
yeah. Here we go. I'm just commenting in on my hand being very slow, just playing Ragavan. You are correct. To Ragavan. Not having to pay 2 mana. I think overall I paid 8 mana for that Ragavan. And that took up a lot of my turns. So here we go into game 2. I'm on the play. Oh, look what I've got. I've got Ragavan again. Worked so well the first time. Let's try it this time.
Second verse, same as the first.
Yeah. There's no way there'll be a ton of small annoying blockers that get huge, right? Right. So yeah, I'm gonna fetch.
So you have played this deck before.
I'm gonna get a Volcanic Island, and surprise, surprise, I am gonna play a Ragavan on 1. Still one of the very good turn 1 plays.
Well, to be fair to you, last time you didn't have that option, did you? So.
No. So being able to play on turn 1 feels way better, especially on the play.
Do you remember how many people were at this Canlander event? Was it like 13 or 14, right?
Yeah, I think it was 13 because there was a buy, so I'll go with 13, but still quite a nice number of people, enough for 4 rounds of Magic.
Yeah, and you guys meet every Sunday.
Yeah.
And
Every
yeah.
Sunday, 11 o'clock is the aim. It usually starts just after 11 to give everyone a chance to get there.
Okay.
And yeah, 4 rounds of Magic, which is lovely Canlander.
Pretty sweet. For a format that's not widely played around the world, it's pretty decent group that plays every week.
Yes, yeah, like like every week you'll get enough players to play it. So this is interesting. I hit with the Ragavan. I see a Mind Stone, which could ramp me, but I'm more scared of this Pyretic Spellbomb just killing the Ragavan.
25.
So 1 red mana to
Unfortunately,
do 2 damage to a creature, is it?
yes, and unfortunately, that planes I drew, I did draw off the Preordain, which, if it was the other way around, I'd have played the stone and then played the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
Played the
ending.
stone, played the ending on the Pyrite.
Makes sense.
We're trying to attempt to.
Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to attempt to with this this Ragavan. Just keep it around.
Ooh, there's a City of Brass,
Did not have good.
which is going to hurt.
Ransom note.
Yeah, so City of Brass into a 1 mana ransom note. I am going to have to read the card again now, even though I've just read it in person. So it enters the battlefield, surveils, 2, sack it, cloak it, top card of your library, go target creature or draw a card, so just 3 interesting abilities there.
It's only going to ever draw a card, I suspect.
It could cloak the top card of your library eventually. Here is Stone back again. I'm not delighted to see that, very upsetting. And I am mental noting here to hit a land. And we milled 2 non-land cards. We draw. So let's see. Yeah, I remember at this point in the game I am missing land drops.
Okay.
Lots of cantrips. We'll start with an attack. Hit a land. Unfortunately, Ragavan doesn't let you play lands off the top, otherwise I'd snap play it. And what have we got? So we get the treasure.
Definitely not. I forgot Ragavan was in play.
This Jay deciding to scry things to top or bottom just
Yeah.
for what they want rather than what you might
Yes.
not want.
Yes. Again, I'll give Jay credit and assume that that was the play. So here I've played a Fort Scour to try and dig for a land. Of course, the first card I mill is the land that I want to draw. Tundra there, gone. So now I have the decision of Serum Visioning to try and dig for this land. Or just holding up the treasure in the plains. I miss the land. I then scry 2 cards to the bottom, so I've missed second land drop. And
I'm feeling your pain.
awful.
I'm feeling your pain.
Yeah, so here I'm feeling pretty bad. I look through the bin, I'm like, where have all my lands gone? Fan it out. There's 1 land in the top 20 or so cards here. Feels real rough. And Jay's just going to tap their mana slowly and cast a Tinker. And I'm just looking at my hand. And I'm like, oh no.
Sacrifice an artifact. Just cheat an artifact into play. This is a pointed card. Ridiculously powerful.
Put any card into any artifact into play. I wonder what we're going to pick. Looking through the list, there are a lot of good targets. There is Caldra Complete, Portal of Phyrexia if they want to kill my Ragavan.
Considering the issues that you've had, I can think of a good target.
Yes, we alluded to it earlier. We're looking at it right there. Now there it is.
Your worst fears.
Yeah. And there we go. I know exactly what's coming.
I will be losing my Savannah.
And yeah, there go my lands. And oh
So
no,
you have no lands in hand and no
lands
lands
in
on the
hand.
field.
I have scryed 2 to the bottom though, so we'll hope that the top card is a land. I untap with my Lonely Ragavan, and we draw a Gataxian Probe. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what I need to play around. There's nothing scary there. This is great. I've also drawn a land.
It comes in tapped.
we can. Yeah, here comes a tap land. We get to pass the turn.
That's a very tapped island.
So there is a mistake here. So that Savannah should be in the bin because Sundra Titan does have to target one of each type.
Yeah.
And that is the only forest. So yeah, we correct that here.
Entirely correct. Sorry.
But we do just top deck another pointed card in Soul And I'm there with my one land looking at this board like, oh no, what happened to this game?
The one thing you don't want to happen when your opponent decides to blow up all your lands is for them to follow it up with a Soul Ring.
Yeah. And I've just exiled my graveyard as well, so any of my delve spells now feel awful. I'm just looking at this like, oh no. Is there a line here? Let's see. My opponent is on 15. I'll take a hit for 7. I'm actually happy about this because I know there's no follow-up creatures here because I've seen the hand, so I am going to get to attack him with Ragavan. I rip a land off the top like a champ, and we're slowly working our way back into this game. So I've got a treasure.
You're so lucky.
I've just hit an answer to this Sundering Titan as well. So I can play this, the heart, I can sack the treasure, sack my Ragavan, exile the Sundering Titan, and then I lose my planes because Sundering Titan left the battlefield, so I'm left with 0 permanents in play against Soul Ring, City of Brass, Seat of the Synod.
Okay.
Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, I can't play this. There's no way I can get away with this. If I do this, I'm just even worse off again. Not really scared of the Proteus stuff. I don't think there's much scare. Like, I imagine there's not anything scary in the deck over a 7-11 at this point. 7-10, sorry.
You've been presented with the problem. Just focus on the problem.
Yeah.
But you can't remove the problem because the problem creates more problems when you remove it.
Yeah. So I have to pass the turn back. So yeah, feeling pretty rough here. Can't cast that. Jay draws a card.
Attack you with 7.
Again, gets in for 7. I go down to 3.
At this point, are you trying to... Sorry, go on.
So I was going to say, this voltaic key is very annoying because it also means this can untap.
Sorry, targeting it, I guess.
But I do.
And we know what's coming when you
Is that an activated ability?
try to interrupt an activated ability.
Yes, I think I will stifle that. I need to stifle it. I need to get another hit in with the Ragavan. I need to make sure
You get
Ragavan
you
does
get
that for me.
major style points for this, by the way.
So yeah, I'm feeling okay here. I do see a line. My line in my head is I do have a comet in hand again. I'm gonna leave it all up to a dice roll to see what happens.
I mean, at this point, a dice roll, a 50-50, sounds fantastic.
Yes. In my head, it is a 50-50. So we go with the lightning bolt. Get them down to 8.
7 because they've missed their pain from City of Brass. So it's actually 7 at this point.
So 7. So even better for me then than being on 7, because this would be a lethal comet.
Yeah.
Let's see if I see the line. See the comet line. I'll attack for 2. So it should be 5 here.
You don't have the mana to cast Comet. Oh wait, Ragavan gives you a treasure.
Yeah, so I get the treasure. So I'm there. It's a very similar game to game 1. I'm doing very similar things. We're just Ragavaning into Comet, and we'll go for it again. So Comet here gives me 2 outs again. So if I hit 4 or 5, I win on the spot. If I hit 1 or 2, I get 2 squirrels and I survive. So I hit 3 and I get a permanent back and I lose because I've got nothing.
When you flip a coin twice, you meant to win one of the 2, Kieran.
Yes.
Funny.
Is that how it's supposed to work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at rolling dice. I shouldn't do it. So
Well,
that's that.
better luck next time. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.